These are the Tarot, Tea Leaf and Oracle forecasts for the month of September 2019. We have a look at the energies that will be swirling around you. It will affect some of you, the whole story. Others of you, only certain aspects of it will touch on your life. So if you'd like a personal or private reading, or that incredible soulmate reading, or even to subscribe to the weekly star sign update, so that it can help you navigate your way through challenges or situations, or even take a peek into your future to see what happy occasions are going to turn up for you, then please contact me via the link in the description box below. That is via the website. You will see you can purchase and order your readings there. Scorpio, we're first going to have a look at your tea leaf cards and your oracle cards. Then we'll move on to relationship forecast or predictions, and finish up with the tarot card. So let's read what it says on your tea leaf card. So the seahorse says family secrets, matters. Interesting, I said secrets. We'll deal with that in a minute. Bread, a period of prosperity and abundance. The vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone's against you. The barking dog, advice from a friend. The shark, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. The staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. And the ears, you finish up with good news. The two oracle cards that you get is here and now and chaos and conflict. Okay, so a few little hiccupy cards in here, but the whole story is overall a good one. So the first card that I read said family matters, and that said family secrets as well. So someone in your family has something, maybe you, that you're not telling everybody. But the next card says there's a period of prosperity and abundance. So maybe you're going to win the lotto and you can't tell everyone. Could be. You never know. But that second card is period of prosperity and abundance. The next card, the vulture, says depression, anxiety, worry that someone's against you. And then the dog barking says advice from a friend. So there seems to be an issue within the family that you feel like someone's not on your side or not agreeing with you or not working with you. But somebody is going to give you good advice about this. There seems to be abundance involved in here. Maybe you don't want to tell someone about something that you've gotten or gained or have, because you feel like they're not on your side, but someone's going to give you good advice about the situation. You're worrying that you will lose that abundance because of this family member. But the next card says you will be taken care of. Don't worry so much. And the final card says you've got good news coming your way. You finish off, or your card that sort of like is the finishing touch for the month says you have good news coming for you. The here and now card says try not to, that's sometimes what worries about, isn't it? When we sort of speculate what's going to happen in the future and we don't kind of focus on what is happening right here and now. You know, we worry about what's going to happen tomorrow and in 10 years time, yada yada. So it's kind of like a thing of you maybe start realizing in September you need to just concentrate on this very moment that you're in without speculating what's going to happen in the future. Because right now, maybe things are unsettled, but that chaos and conflict card says it's getting rid of the debris. I always say with this card, have a look at that zebra. It's got a giraffe sort of pattern on it. And that wind, that chaos and conflict is blowing off the giraffe pattern so that the proper zebra pattern can show through, because it is a zebra. So that's what's happening in your life. That seeming chaos and conflict in September is like clearing away the things that are distracting, bogging you down, whatever it may be, from being who you really are, being the person you want to be, doing the things that you want to do. So that is sort of the overall message for the beginning of your reading for the month of September. And remember, there's good news coming from you that you're going to discover it's not necessary to worry so much about the future, even though things are a little bit unsettled at the moment. You're going to see there is abundance in your life. You will be taken care of. Someone will give you good advice. And you'll start focusing on the here and now and perhaps even enjoying that abundance. Now let's take a look at your relationship cards. I'm going to read what it says on the cards. Then I'm going to speak to those of you that are looking for relationships. And then I'm going to speak to those of you that are in relationships. So the first card says, worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life. Unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Forgiving and learning, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments, and new love, a new person has restored your romantic feelings. There's a whole story there for those of you looking for relationships. Divine timing ultimately is at work here. So you may have had a few relationships lately that just didn't go the distance, they didn't make it. Maybe you're even in one now that you know, well, you know what, it just doesn't have what it takes. You have a heart-to-heart conversation with somebody. What this does is it sort of clears up an old belief pattern that you have, an old recurring belief that you have. And once that is cleared up, this opens the doors to a new love, and there is somebody new coming in September. You will feel an attraction for somebody new coming in September. So there's an old pattern here that is stopping you from having that relationship you want. There's divine timing involved that gets you into a conversation with someone that clears up this belief pattern that you have. You move beyond it and you open the doors to a brand new love. For those of you in relationships, it's a similar story. There is divine timing at work here. Your relationship seems like it's got a big hiccup at the moment. You have a heart-to-heart conversation, perhaps with your partner. It clears up a belief you have about relationships. It heals something that you believe about relationships. And this paves the way for rekindling that feeling between the two of you, rekindling that relationship, that trust, that bond between the two of you. Divine timing says that ultimately you are guided to this moment in your life. It's predestined. It was written into your story. So the whole sequence of events that led up to this was also written into your story. So there were no mistakes, there were no accidents, there was no you did wrong, they did wrong, whatever the case may be. It was lined up for you to have this experience, move through this experience, heal from this experience, and open up your heart again to the partner that you're with in a new way, in a better way. Right, so now let's have a look at those tarot cards. And the tarot cards is the underlying story. This is the growth edge. This is the experience you signed up for in the month of September. This is the plot in your story as such. So you get the 11 of fire. In this tarot deck is called masculine, feminine. You get the 4 of earth. You get the 11 card healing, major arcana card. You get the seneschal, which is 12 of earth in this particular tarot deck. So let's start with the masculine, feminine. Okay, now that's the fire element in this card, and it's balancing the masculine, feminine elements. So the masculine is fire, and the feminine is more the water, the intuitive, the giving, that kind of thing. You kind of find that balance in September. That's your theme in September. By the end of September, you have the potential to reach that kind of balance, and that's the ultimate balance. That's the balance between taking action or sitting back and knowing a thing's time will come, your intuition will guide you. It's knowing when to do each, striking the balance between the two. Up to now, what you felt like you were doing is holding up the fort. That's what that 4 of earth says. Look at that poor person holding up the walls, and he's bleeding from the effort and has worked really hard. The bee is the worker. The bee in the arch there is always about the worker, working for the whole, working for the greater good. And you felt very much like you holding up more than your share of what's going on at the moment. You had to do more than your fair share of holding everything together. That's how you feel. Ultimately, what is needed here and what you will be going through is some kind of healing. Now that came up in your relationship card as well. So this is, I think, predominantly about relationships, even though you have earth cards here. I think the experience has been on an earthly material level. So perhaps you've been the one who's been the breadwinner. Maybe you've been the one that's doing the hard physical work. But ultimately, this is about a period of healing. You're going through healing some kind of relationship dynamic within yourself. And that relationship can be with everybody around you or with someone in specific. The seneschal card speaks about having done your duty dutifully without questioning it. And that is something that Scorpio is actually very good at. They are very good at doing duty, doing the blood, sweat and tears duty of work and just doing it because it's their duty without question. Somehow, having done that for this last period heals something within you. I wouldn't even try and look at the logic of these things. I never do. There's no logic involved, yeah. But ultimately, it heals you. And ultimately, the service that you do, that's what the dog is about in that seneschal card, that final card. A dog just does things out of true love, out of true loyalty. And that's something that you've been doing at the moment. Ultimately, this heals you. Ultimately, healing takes place. And ultimately, it is the most loyal of the servants that whom in the end will get rewarded, is what I hear for you guys. So that hard work and the blood and the sweat and the tears and doing what you felt you needed to do, sometimes carrying more than your fair share of the burden, will also bring you to that point where you perhaps yield to the point where you know when to give and when to back off, when to take effort and when to sit and relax and let things come towards you. Perhaps that is the healing that will finally happen in the month of September, and that's a big one, isn't it? I hope that you enjoyed that reading. If you would like any of those readings I offered at the beginning, the personal, private, soulmate, or subscription to weekly updates for your star sign, please contact me via the links in the description box below. That is via the website. I want to thank you for watching, listening, commenting, liking, subscribing, and for those of you that share this video, I truly appreciate it. Those of you that comment, I read every single comment. Thank you very much.